In the last 3 months, 70% of Ohio's workforce who are parents of small children say that they missed work at least once. And that was because of childcare issues. And so, that is a drastic impact on the workforce.
BusinessJournalDaily.com 3 Minutes With is brought to you by Farmers National Bank.
Save, borrow, and invest with Farmers. Take heart knowing you're helping create a strong community. Mind your money at Farmers. Talk directly to local decision makers about your loans, investments, and insurance. Farmers. Fiercely local, fiercely loyal.
33% of parents who reported leaving the Ohio workforce last year said they did it because of childcare issues. So that's a good example of how tremendous this barrier is to workforce. So that's a third. You could guess that most of those people are women, but there are men as well, but it doesn't matter. Either way, has a drastic impact on workforce. And so what we are trying to do is figure out ways that we can help make childcare more affordable and also make it more available, because we know that there is a challenge with even the childcare industry is having a hard time finding workers.
As a childcare resource and referral agency, the Early Childhood Resource Center, on one end, we are helping the workforce behind the workforce. We are training and educating those early childhood educators, because without those, our child care providers and our child care centers cannot thrive without employees to take care of those children. That's on one end. That's what we do. And then on the parent side, if parents do not qualify for publicly funded child care, the issues that parents are facing is that they're choosing between going to work and having child care for their children. And so because the cost is so high that they don't qualify, that it becomes a barrier, and that many families, one parent is leaving the workforce to stay home to not have that cost. And then the issue that businesses are facing is that they cannot maintain employers because they don't have childcare. And so we're really trying to connect these dots for people in the community to come up with solutions to help parents, businesses, and early childhood educators.
We have been very active in trying to figure out ways to make childcare more affordable. We have advocated for different legislation that is pending in Columbus. We offered testimony in Columbus for a bill that was going to help fund childcare. There are different bills that are pending, including one that in the budget bill is offering some funds that would allow for people for the government to help pay for part of the child care. So it's been offered in a lot of other states, and it's worked well. It's called a tri-share program, where the government pays for part of the child care costs, the parent pays for part, and then the employer would pay for part. Mm-hmm. And so together they would help to reduce the cost of child care.
One of the things that we spoke about today was the public-private business partnership grant through Ohio Department of Children and Youth, which is a pilot program to help businesses offset the cost for their employees. The state will pay a portion for a year in this pilot, and then a nonprofit like the Early Childhood Resource Center can partner with them to kind of manage and partner with early care and education programs who need children that their employers can take their children to.
There are a lot of different options. But it puts it back onto the employer, and a lot of them just are not able to accommodate. But I know that there are some organizations that offer a child care credit that helps them to helps the parent to defray the cost. There are some organizations that have tried to offer child care in the workplace, which is a great opportunity for the parent, because then, on their lunch break or whenever, they can go check on their child. But that's not always possible either. I've talked to some employers that did it for a while, and it wasn't feasible. They're not in the child care business. Obviously, they're in a different business, and so they're not experts on that. But they also sometimes they look at hiring a contractor to come in and do it. And that's something that other states also have explored. But in the last 3 months, 70% of Ohio's workforce who are parents of small children say that they missed work at least once. And that was because of childcare issues. And so, that is a drastic impact on the workforce. In fact, they say that it costs, in the state of Ohio, almost $4 billion with a B dollars to Ohio employers annually due to employee turnover and also due to absenteeism and issues like that, again, all related directly to child care.
I hope that parents in our community know that there are services that can wrap around their family to help them navigate these systems, number one, and that as a resource and referral agency, we not only wrap ourselves around the parent, but the child and the educators that they face every day, and that businesses know that there can be creative solutions, and they may have ideas internally, and that us partnering together is what's going to make our communities thrive and our families thrive.
It's an ongoing challenge. We know that there are quite a few challenges that are creating barriers to workforce. Childcare is just one of them, and slowly we are trying to tackle each of them individually to try to get as many people into the workforce as possible. We know that there's a lot of jobs coming, new jobs, and we can't spare any person who is able to work. We need them to be in the workforce.
BusinessJournalDaily.com 3 Minutes With is brought to you by Farmers National Bank.
Save, borrow, and invest with Farmers. Take heart knowing you're helping create a strong community. Mind your money at Farmers. Talk directly to local decision makers about your loans, investments, and insurance. Farmers. Fiercely local, fiercely loyal.